Fireside Chat, number 80, if my count is correct. So, at the same time, both a big Fireside Chat and not a big one because, I have a handbook updated with a lot of the upcoming changes, that kind of stuff. Um, and all of that, I'm going to have a big announcement that I'm going to be putting out tonight. Tonight, as in within a few hours. And sometimes I say tonight, and then it's like 3 a.m. that it comes out. Should be within a few hours. I'm working on it right now, basically. And yeah, hopefully that will. I'll try to give some bullet points, just concise details on the most significant things. Um, I think to the average member, not a lot is really gonna feel like it's changing. You might have different people talking to you in terms of the officers and leaders of each warband and some stuff like that. I mean, I know we sort of have different levels of participation from people in the clan, whether it be people who just hang out in game, and maybe they're just like, well, I post my roll call just so I'm here, but I'm mostly just here to hang out. That's obviously totally cool, and don't, this won't affect people that much in that regard. But behind the scenes, there's a fair amount as far as all of the duties of each rank kind of being changed. In some ways, I think personally, I feel that the handbook I had written previously, well, I don't want to take full credit because I mean it's the amalgamation of tons and tons of different people's ideas and suggestions, from significant core concepts to somebody saying, hey, there's a typo here, or hey, can you list this here, or hey, my family has a tradition where we do this, can you put a little blurb about that, anything like that. That's really what it is. But regardless, most of the rank descriptions is stuff that I basically just wrote in the previous handbook. I say previous; it's still in rules right now. But November 1st is when we've got. I'm gonna have the new one officially go into effect. But I will be posting it in announcements and stuff tonight, just so people can glance through it, or at least glance through some of the big changes I write, just so people have some idea. It's not completely coming out of left field. But I think the one big thing that will probably be noticed by most everybody is the whole. We've got a sort of a schedule in WA, right, where we have roll calls, we have situation reports being written, people being promoted and demoted through the ranks, everything like that. All that's shifting to just a once a month schedule. So basically, it's all going to be rather than like, oh, the third Tuesday of whatever month, it's all going to be based on basically the roll call will start on the first of the month and run through the end of the month. But I have written in the handbook as well and given the warband leaders permission to basically part of promoting people and demoting people is making sure they post in roll call to see that they're actually here. Um, so I have given them, they can go ahead and do it early, because the idea is they shouldn't be leaving all that stuff till the 31st of the month to get it done. They can do it a few days earlier, something like that. So I mentioned this in a previous Fireside Chat. We're shifting to once a month, so it should be pretty easy, but don't wait till the 30th to post or whatever, because then that, I mean, technically it's not late, but it just would be a nice courtesy for the people who have to go through and check that everyone posted, who might be doing that in like the 28th or something like that, and then they have to go back on the 30th and be like, oh, somebody else posted, okay. And I mean, sometimes stuff happens, but that is the idea anyway. I'm kind of rambling on the big difference: monthly schedule for everything. So roll call lasts a month. At the end of the month, going through the first couple days of the next month, that's when the each warband leader writes a report about their warband, just talking about new people that join, new recruits, promotions, demotions, people who transferred in from other warbands, all that kind of stuff. Um, so all that goes out, yeah, at the very, very beginning of the next month. So, and that's just going to kind of keep on that schedule, which I think should work pretty well. So that's all going to kind of kick in here at the end of the month. So the current stuff that's going on right now as far as schedules will keep going, but then it is. Actually, give me just a second to bring up the calendar here so I can say exactly where we're at. So we just had the board of review ended 2 days ago, right? Or the last roll call as well, because they're on the 2 week schedule. So that's going to keep going. But the difference is, whereas normally, as you can see on the October calendar, it has the first 9 days of November on there. Normally, all the roll call would end on Monday, the 4th of November,
and a new roll call will begin on the 5th. We're just not going to do that. We're going to have this current roll call go all the way till the end of November. So till November 30th, and then December 1st will be the new one. So we're just going to extend it and basically, yeah. So we'll be shifting to that whole once a month deal on November 1st. So yeah, I'll make a note here to go in and fix the calendar, so that's a little clearer about that too. But let's see, fix calendar. All right, I have literally made a note. And now, yeah, I think that's the big thing. I don't want to spend like too long just like going on and on about the changes when I'm gonna make a post for it too. But that's the big thing. Everyone in WA is gonna be in a warband. So basically, as before, another big thing was like Hairseers and Thanes being kind of free floating, sort of. They'll be in warbands. And generally, the highest ranked member of a warband will be the leader. If there's multiple people of the same rank and some kind of dispute, we'll figure that out through me and the Jarls, whatnot. Somebody will be the leader. You can see in rules, there's a handy little image that kind of shows the organization of the clan in houses, which isn't changing at all. Houses and families, nothing different at all. Which is kind of why I say like this is sort of big changes, but also sort of like a lot of stuff is really not that big on the surface. But the that Warband and Great Company organization thing, I'm going to update that. This is all stuff I'm going to be doing tonight. And so that's going to all go out. So hopefully everyone will be relatively on the same page. And like I said, not till November 1st does this stuff go into effect. But yeah, that's the big thing is kind of some changes to rule or to ranks as far as people's duties and whatnot, what they have to do. Change to the monthly schedule, and the rules are changing. I think the spirit of the rules is pretty similar. The big thing I wanted to do is just elaborate a lot on a lot of stuff because they're very vague before. Some I've talked about a lot. I think that my rules that I wrote before were super vague and kind of up to interpretation, so I tried to write much more detailed rules and I think stricter a bit, certainly. And I think part of what we're looking at in the new system is just like using promotions and demotions more because I think, and I've mentioned this to several people, that I think that it's fair for us to go and say, hey, somebody might get demoted for something, and then maybe they get repromoted again later on. That's totally fine. I don't think that we should be like super scared to demote people because like, oh, what if, it should just be like, people are going to move up and down the ranks based on whatever factors, whether they just disappear for a while or, break some rules or don't have time to do something. Whatever, I think that promotions and demotions will and probably should be more frequent. I mean, I'm not saying like go out and search for people to demote just to have fun. No, but like, and we should be willing at least. And oh, one other thing, I think I've said this once or twice, but if you want to make your own warband, which would go under me, because now there's the two great companies still, but now you can just have a warband directly under me, which is generally going to be smaller, newer, or inactive warbands, or just kind of standalone warbands, various situations. But if you make a new warband, it'll start out under me, generally speaking. And yeah, so talk to me if you want to do that. One of the new things is anyone berserker and higher can lead a warband, and if you aren't a berserker, talk to me. I mean, we can still see what's happening. Maybe let's say you're a raider and you're eligible for promotion. I mean, you can, if you meet all the requirements, you can be promoted to berserker to lead your new warband or what have you. So, um, yeah, definitely a lot of options there, and I think we're happy to have more warbands because Um, one thing I don't like is when we get, one or more people who join and they're like, "Oh, we all play this game," and it's kind of like, "Oh, that's cool. I guess you'll go here," even though nobody really plays that game here. But hey, I mean, you can hang out, right? I think having more games covered is always cool because then, somebody can come in and say, "Hey, I play, Motor Racer on the PlayStation One." It's like, "Oh, we have a warband for that, so go join," you know, whatever. But I think that would be cool, and I'm not going to say I'm going to approve every single warband ever that gets proposed to me, but I certainly, those of you who've been around a while probably remember I led a ton of tiny little platoons, way back 9, 10 years ago, and I always am partial to people bringing up starting new ventures, I guess is a good way to put it. So yeah. A man ago, they suggesting he has pre-approval for a Moto Racer Warband. I wouldn't go that far, but definitely, I would say there's a good chance. I definitely join you, help recruit. But yeah, I think that's about it. Let me double check my document here. Yeah, I'll mention this. So I've been asking Warbands if they want to adopt game channels. So basically, all that means is each warband's going to have its own category on the server, and then let's say you adopt Guild Wars 2. So the Guild Wars 2 channel right now, all the games are under this WAS Stalwart category. All that particular game adopted by that warband would go under that warbands category. So let's say Kolga's adopts Guild Wars 2, which incidentally is happening. That means that Guild Wars 2 would get moved up under the WAS Kolga's category. So it doesn't really change much for just the average, guest on the server. It just changes which category they have to look at to find Guild Wars 2. And the idea being that because it's so close, there's that association there. And of course, the idea being that it's one of the warband's focuses, so people in that warband play it a lot. And also, I hope that will kind of help promote a little activity in the warband on whatever given game they adopt, is the phrase I've been using. And yeah, maybe get some recruits that way, stuff like that. So yeah, so there's a few that are, I guess I can just reveal what they are. So thus far, Friggs is going to be having Minecraft and Elder Scrolls Online, Mjolnir's StarCraft 2, and Kolga's Guild Wars 2 and Rainbow Six Siege is what I have written down so far. If I forgot any, let me know, or if people are come up with something they want to adopt, totally let me know. It's fine. I don't think any of those are a big surprise. They're all games that people in that warband play. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So the handbook. I'll make my big announcement. Handbook update will go out. I'm going to probably make some very small, just double checking the pocket guide and the recruiting guide, which are just two other smaller documents there that are supposed to. Oh, thank you, Ofold. Paradox Games to Kvasir. I forgot to make that note. I'll write that down now. That is another game. And yeah, I think that is about it. Like I said, yeah, there'll be some updates there. And I'll try to make a sort of concise announcement tonight that lists all of that. One thing. Let's see. Rookie suggested can get the league channel. Yeah, so that was one that I like the idea of it, right? Because of course we want to have the league association, but the problem is we have so many League of Legends players. I think it makes more sense to just leave it where it is, at least for now, unless we come up with some other solution or something like that. Just because we've got multiple warbands that play it a ton as their main game, it would I don't know that we could really pick out one warband and say, oh, this is the League of Legends warband. We kind of have a few, and there's a lot of people that are even in other warbands that play it too. It's basically, I don't want to say it's our main game because I don't think it's like, of course we were founded on StarCraft 18 years ago. I don't think it's as ubiquitous as StarCraft was for so long, but it's really really popular. Been really popular in WA for a good 5 years ish or more. So yeah, I mean right now I kind of would probably leave it where it is, but. Yeah, all right. Well, that's about all I brought. So I will just throw it out if anybody has anything they want to talk about, or any questions, or ideas, or concerns, or anything like that. Anybody have anything?
Just another shameless plug that a new warband will be spun up for Destiny 2 and World of Warship slash possibly World of whatever games. Contact Foos, myself, or Glaurung if you're interested. The roster's shaping up, so I know the time's kind of getting late here, so we want to get the petition to vest as soon as possible. I mean, it's never too late. We're still going to try to go ahead with it, so but we'd like to get you in on the ground floor if possible. And then to segue or to call back to what Vest was saying about adopting channels, it just occurred to me that we could possibly adopt the was it the War Gaming channel, would be good for us if we're doing World of whatever games. That sort of was the collection of those games anyway, so that would naturally fit under the new Warband. So uh, I'd say just look for that coming up, and hopefully we can get that rolling here. I think we have like one more requirement to iron out, Vest, but we'll get that to you soon.
Sounds good, yeah. And that just reminded me of in the monolith on the forums, I'm putting some various like official documents that are really handy there. I promise they're actually very helpful for anybody at all involved in like running anything in WA. Um, Especially there's 5 I think pinned threads in the monolith subforum on our forums, and they're all very handy. One of them is the Warband creation duties and expectations thread. I think it's probably the most useful. So there's 3 posts in there. There's one that says, what do you need to do to create a warband? And then there's one that has warband expectations, which is basically, to lead into that, basically if you make a new warband, you can make a new warband and have it just go right into a great company. All that you would need is just to meet the expectations listed there for a warband that's under a great company. The biggest one being you would need a warband leader of rank Huskarl or higher, and somebody else of rank Berserker or higher, at minimum. So that's the big requirement. There's higher requirements as far as like how active people need to be in a warband under a great company and all that stuff. But all that's in there. And yeah, there was something else I was going to mention, but oh yeah, did you guys want to take Destiny as well as a game channel? Adopt that one.
I must have missed that, but that would be
Yes,
perfect.
Sweet,
that'd
yeah,
be a yes.
definitely, for sure we do
Yes,
that.
yes, definitely.
Cool, cool. I still feel like there's something I am forgetting, but yeah, Monolith has all that handy dandy stuff, and yeah, does anybody have anything else they didn't want to bring up? Possibly. I'm double checking the Monolith now here. I guess I know I've talked about this a bit. I do want to kind of try to put some work into all the lore aspect of the clan. Once I'm done with all these changes and all that official stuff, get back to the fun stuff of stories and whatnot, and updating the codex entries. Marks is another thing. A lot of that stuff. So yeah. Let's see.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know Rod's not here, but she would probably plug the Secret Odin event that's going on for like a Secret Santa Christmas Yule time event. I know there's something pinned in, was it announcements or events, with a link with a survey, and you can fill it out and just try to honestly participate if you think you can participate. Great. If not, it's okay. We do it every year. If you don't have the money or the financial means, whatever, you can always try to make something. Time is as good as money. So if you're really good at something, you could also contribute that way as well.
For sure, yeah, it should be in announcements. Let me double check here. I can pin. Yeah, let's see. Is it pinned? Uh, let's see. Oh, there's some actually outdated pins in here. It's a good thing I checked this. Okay, I just pinned Raud's Secret Odin post in announcements, so that should be accessible to everybody. And yeah. Oh, we still have going on. I suppose I should mention for Pato the Gricker Got thing, our little Halloween celebration, where almost everybody Berserker Plus. That should be in announcements as well. The exact list. Yeah, Pato's got a list of participating officers. If you just scroll up a tiny bit, everyone in there has written a riddle, WA themed riddle, and yeah, if you go and you DM them Gricker Got, they will give you the riddle, and if you solve it correctly by October 31st, when Pato will do the drawing at the Fireside chat that day, then you will enter into a drawing to win $20 Steam gift cards. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if anybody hasn't done that yet, we've had some decent participation. Yeah, and don't be too intimidated. I know I'm pretty bad at riddles. I've had fun writing one though, and I think I know I have. I think most of us have been pretty lenient as far as multiple guesses, giving you hints, stuff like that, because it's really just for fun. So yeah, don't worry like, oh, I only get one guess, so no, I'm doomed. It's totally fine. Yeah. Anybody have anything else they want to bring up before we maybe look to sign off here? Sounds like maybe not. Let me double check. I still feel like there's something I kind of wanted to mention, but I can't quite remember. Oh, I think this was it. Yeah. So you probably, if you are in any kind of higher rank in a warband, will have noticed some new channels popping up. A incident and review channel for your warband, stuff like that, and the new warband categories. So yeah, check those out if you haven't already. I'll double check all the permissions, make sure everything's good. But yeah, anybody basically, if anybody needs access to it that doesn't, and you're in charge of a warband, double check that. You just look at the list of people in the channel. Double check that whoever needs access has it, and let me know if anybody else needs access, like a berserkers needs it or something that doesn't have it. Because those are where you'll do basically the warband review at the end of the month, where you review every member and say, oh, who needs to be promoted, who needs to be demoted, all that kind of stuff. And then again, this is all going to be in the handbook and the announcement too, so I don't want to say too much without you guys having something to look at and reference. And I know it's hard to keep track of me just talk for 20 minutes about all this stuff without having something to read and actually look at. But the Warband reports are going to be written once a month by the Warband leader or whoever they pass that duty off to. Those are going to be actually posted on the forums and DM to their Jarl. So they're posted in the Codex subforums. So yeah, one thing, obviously a theme with both this important stuff in the monolith and the Warband reports going on in the Codex subforums on our forums is you probably need to access our forums. So if you don't have a forum account, sign up for one. And if you did sign up for one and you can't see anything, let me know, and I can make sure that you are approved and make sure that you've got the right role. The roles are all for houses: House Deputy, House Dean, House Commander, whatever. And then you can okay, House Warden, House Cavalry, House Blitzkrieg, House Thief. I have to say all of them because then somebody's gonna ping me and say, "Well, why didn't you say my house? And you don't like us?" All of the house roles are on the forums, and that's what gives you access to the all the sub forums. And yeah, basically, if you have any problems accessing the forums, admittedly, it is free forum software. I really appreciate the developers of MyBB forums for making it, but it does seem kind of buggy. So if you have a problem accessing your account, let me know. I may need to reset your password or something like that. We've had that issue a few times. But yeah, I think that about does it. So we'll go ahead and sign off, and I'll double check here, but I believe it should be back. Yeah, it should be back next Thursday at the standard time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Those of you who have been here a while know that sometimes the backup time is Friday at a noon Pacific. If I do wind up moving it, but as far as I know, for the foreseeable future, we're still on Thursdays. So see everybody then, and that is going to be October 31st. So we'll have the Gricker Got drawing, and yeah, thanks everyone watching live, watching the VOD, and thanks everyone who are showing up. We will see y'all then.